people are actually very, very greedy. This is why people don't close trades. This is why people make stupid stuff and blow accounts. It comes down to not always just skill, but it comes down to greed and your relationship with money. So I think that's a massive part of it, and why people would actually prefer to go work for somebody else, because you're not going to find out who you truly are, most likely working for somebody else. So I agree with all of that. You were talking quite a bit about scaling, and you use the example of a $10 million account. So today we've got Chiara on the call, and a little bit of her bio. She's been, and I love how you put this, seeking liberation from the rat race. Guys, that is what we're all about. I call it, the pursuit of financial freedom, but liberation from the rat race works really, really as well. It looks like you started with affiliate marketing, did network marketing, traveled full-time, which I am very jealous of. And then 2020 jumped into Forex trading and, opened up a lot of different doors to get her to where she is right now. So Chiara, I'm excited to have you. Hopefully you're doing well.
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. How are you?
Doing really, really good. It's been a heck of a day already. Good day trading as well.
Very good.
So
Same here.
yeah, so we'll get into all of the current stuff here in just a minute, but I'd love to hear a little bit of that backstory from kind of the 2014 affiliate stuff that you were doing, kind of coming into what you learned in Forex in 2020.
Yeah, so I actually started back in 2014. I was my 20s and I had already started to travel, so literally followed the programs I was given growing up, and I just literally had this dream for 5 years. I said, once I finish, just do what I'm told, go to college, go to uni, did that all. I said, I'm going to Australia. And I was like, so 21, packed my bags, went to Australia. And I have, by the way, I come from a tiny island called Malta. I don't know how many people heard of this tiny island. Okay, most Americans haven't. So it was very difficult for me to leave because I had lots of people tell me, oh my God, you're gonna die there, far away, parents are gonna miss you. My parents trying to convince me, they kind of wanted me to be happy and go, but they were also afraid because I was 21, but I left. Came back, and I came back with a very different mindset. I did work in human resources for 3 years, but it was just not working out for me. I was feeling like my talents were suppressed. Like if I wanted to do something, I couldn't because there was a certain order. So I decided to type how to make money online, and that's where it all began. 2014, luckily, I got fired by my boss. So I was like, I'm either going to make something work for myself, or I'm going to be I'm going to go on to the next job, and they're going to treat me like whatever. If they want to treat me like crap, they can treat me like crap because you have to obey, or it's that's the door. Someone else can take your job easily. So I was tired of that. I was not going to take it. So I got into network marketing at first. Did really well. It took me 14 months to master, but that's when I started picking up. I was just happy with 5 figures a month. I mean, and sometimes I'm jealous that that's all I wanted back in the day. I was so happy with 5 figures a month because I was making peanuts here. Once I got to that target, I just, again, packed my bags and I just traveled around the world. I lived in different cities and it was phenomenal. Then I got into Forex into 2020.
How did you hear about it? Was it another Google search, or somebody was doing it that you knew? How did you find it? And then what was appealing about Forex to you?
So I actually saw a couple of people on my Facebook feed because I was obviously by that time, by 2020, I was networked with so many people in the make money online space in general. And I started to see people just posting their screenshots of how much money they made in a day with Forex. And I saw I would see 10,000 in a day or more. And I was like, what? I was there's no need to have employees. You don't need to scale your marketing. It was just pure mindset and skill. And that was very appealing to me. I was like, wow, there's something even better than marketing. And don't get me wrong, I love marketing. I still do it to this day. But it's something I do just out of passion and if I want to. But mastering trading, it's a whole different ballgame, but just sticking with it to the point that you can make it work and then just scaling from there is just phenomenal because you can just scale without needing to build a whole company. And that's very appealing to me because I personally am not one to have like, I personally don't want to have like many employees around me and a lot of organization structure. Like I'm very simple. Like you see in my background, I'm very simple. And that's because if I
Yeah.
want to take off from where I am, which is what we're about to do. We want to take off. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm tied down to anything. I just want to pack my
Yeah.
bags and go. Nothing ties me down.
I think a lot of people are probably jealous about that. Like, so I'm the opposite. Obviously, I have the studio. We have a 5,000 square foot office, wife, kid, another kid that's going to be here in 3 weeks. We've got the house, the car. So I think a lot of people probably hear, pack up and go and are probably jealous. Myself includes, because I do love traveling and do love it for, and I did a while. I think it's really cool that you have found multiple things that you're able to do that allow you to have that freedom. Chiara, you said a couple of things that were really interesting to me. You said on the Forex side or on the trading side, it was just pure mindset and skill. So we have a lot of people. I mean, we have hundreds of people that are interested in financial freedom and interested in trying to figure out a better way than just working 9 to 5 and being a slave to somebody else. But I think a lot of people struggle with probably both mindset and skill. Probably starts with mindset, and that prohibits them from actually attaining the skill that they would need to be successful in Forex. So what did that look like for you? I mean, like, how long did it take for you to get up and going? Like for me, I am 4 months into it and finally starting to get into a really good rhythm. Had a great day today. We made 9.7% just today, which is great. But how long did it take you? I mean, like, what did that look like?
Actually, it took me like more than 3 years. So if you're like
Okay,
making that
yeah,
kind of money in 4 months, wow, like it's incredible.
not
I
every
think
day.
okay, but still, it's really good because even like if you did that today and like for the week, that's good. So with Forex, we mainly have a lot of automation that works for us. In terms of manual, I just focus on even 1 to 2% a week because with Forex,
Mhm.
it's not about I've made 100% in a month. Like this mentality of I made 100% in a month, or you must make this and you can't lose. This is crazy. With Forex, because of how scalable it is, you can have
Yeah,
you can have a $10 million account which you can build with time, right? But this is something you'll never do with a job. So you can scale to 10 million and then you can focus on 1% a month. What's that? 100K. So
yeah,
that's incredible. And to make 1% a month is easy. Like when I say easy, I mean, okay, I don't want to make Forex sound easy because it's not, but it's very doable because you just need to find one good setup in a month.
hmm,
And that's like something you can just sit down for 4 hours in a day and you can find that setup. And if you don't, you can walk away, come the next day. With mindset, so I took really long because I had a lot going on. I had a business partner completely screw me over. I lost everything. So I hit rock bottom again. The one thing I
okay,
didn't do, however, is I never went back to a job. Like that was never gonna happen. I'd much rather
yeah,
like not eat than go back to a job because that's something I just can't do again. I had to start over, and that's actually when I came across Forex. So I had a lot of instability mentally. Plus, also 2 years ago, I had my first pregnancy. It turned out to be a live ectopic. Ended up in hospital, and that hit me very hard. I had spent a year just going through trauma, losing hair because it was
oh,
like it was something we wanted, and it didn't work out. And I was still crying over it 1 year later. So that was like, so I was dealing with all that mentally, plus the business partner screwing me over, and the clients going after him like legally through with courts and everything. Something I didn't want in my life because it's just not me. Like I much rather like
yeah,
take responsibility and move on. So there was a lot of mindset work that I had to do. I had to invest in myself. Like recently, we invested thousands. We went to Dubai and met an incredible trader. He's a crypto guy. So just so that we could up our game and and just want like have that desire to accelerate more so we can get to a place where we want to be because we have big goals in terms of like money goals. And I just realized with time, the more money you want to make, the more you have to up your game mentally. So you have to learn
100%.
about your relationship with money. And trading has taught me that so much. Like trading has shown me things that marketing could never show me. It has shown me the relationship I have with money. Where is it coming from? How can I change it? And things like that. Because you cannot be afraid to lose with trading. And there's just so much more that goes into it in terms of like money mindset.
100%. I mean, I couldn't agree more. And I think that's where a lot of people get really scared. And I think they're like, man, this is going to teach me a lot about myself. It's going to teach me my true beliefs about money, what my true fears are. And like you said, like that relationship, a lot of people find out that they're in an abusive relationship with money, whether they're abusing money or whatever. And I think for a lot of people, that's terrifying. We start to find out that most people are actually very, very greedy. This is why people don't close trades. This is why people make stupid stuff and blow accounts. It comes down to not always just skill, but it comes down to greed and your relationship with money. So I think that's a massive part of it, and why people would actually prefer to go work for somebody else, because you're not going to find out who you truly are, most likely working for somebody else. So I agree with all of that. You were talking quite a bit about scaling, and you use the example of a $10 million account. Is that kind of what you guys are working towards? Because I know you're also overseeing a couple different projects. Is that accurate?
Yes, we do want to get to that goal eventually, just for the sake of having more time freedom. So here's what's happening with us. Right now, we're busy with relocating. We're gonna move in a few weeks from the country for the simple reason that we're too comfortable here. And one of the reasons we feel stuck is we feel we're in the wrong location. So we need to pack our bags, leave. I have 3 cats, which doesn't help. So they're like kids, by the way, but a bit more different because we don't have to send school. So taking those with us is gonna be like, for me, it's like it stresses me out. So yeah, so our aim is to then like work from a place where we feel okay, we're really like we feel like okay, we have like a fire under our ass, like to do things that, because we're in an uncomfortable place, we're far from home and things like that. And then what we want to do is we want to come back, but we want to be able to spend more time with family. And the only way to do that is when you have a certain amount of cash flow coming in each month. And in terms of forex, we have, which is what we're aiming for. We're working towards, yes, having a $10 million account. Sorry, yeah, dollars, be euros. $10 million account. And if we make just 1% a month, that's fine. So if we have cash flow and that's like, and we're diversified, of course, into different investments. That's kind of, that's exactly where what we are aiming for.
And did I read it right that you are overseeing, was it a PAM account, or I might have read that wrong?
No, you didn't. I do have a PAM account. So the PAM account is mainly for clients, because I have a lot of clients that they don't exactly want to learn how to trade. What they want is something that's very passive. And that's what we created. So we actually tested many PAM accounts. We actually tried to launch a couple, but we didn't have much success with them. Then we finally came across someone who's a software developer, and he has a software that has over 1 year of verified history. And that was very appealing to us. And we learned how it works, and we tested it ourselves, and we decided to open a PAM account. For people that might not be familiar with the word PAM, it's just an account management service where we manage clients' funds. Nothing's guaranteed, like a huge disclaimer. Nothing's guaranteed. This is Forex at the end of the day. And we're making a solid 10% plus a month so far with it. And yeah, we're looking to launch a second one as well. That is more for, like, that's very passive. That's passive income for us that we're building slowly, because it's a very conservative PAM. We don't aim for big gains. Like, we don't care about that. What we care about more is preserving the capital. So for example, we did 2 points, I think it was 73% this week. So we had a good week, and we did that in 4 days. And when I saw that we had that, like we hit over 2% for the week, and I saw that today was NFP, it did turn off the software yesterday, because I was like, let's just be happy with what we have, and we'll continue from this coming Sunday.
Yeah, what was it? It was 8:30 this morning for me. It was just wild. I was very happy that I was not in any trades this morning, because it was like, what, 3 or 4 red folder news events. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
What is going on? I love it. Yeah, so we've been kind of diving a lot more into, because we used to be more like platform based, and we would find these platforms that were seemingly doing really, really well, except for they weren't, or they were very Ponzi based, where they had to have new people signing up, new affiliates, and we just didn't know better. I think a lot of people have kind of fallen into that trap at some point in the alternative space. But we have had a massive focus for at least the last 6 months, PAM accounts and trading our own stuff. We're doing a lot of different stuff with prop firms, and I think we have 5, 6, 7, $150,000, $200,000 accounts that we have different people trading on our end. And it's just like you said, it's crazy. Like I told you, like today I had an abnormally good day and made 9.75%. And for most people, especially from like my background, which is real estate, they make that in a year. You know, I made it literally wearing sweatpants. I made it on Friday in my sweatpants at the office just a matter of a couple hours. And I think for most people, it's so far out there and it's so too good to be true that they never ever look at the opportunity. But what you found is, look, over the course of multiple years, you could fix some of the stuff that was going on from a mindset perspective. You guys were investing in yourself. You were getting a skill set where now making a couple percent in a week is probably somewhat normal. So I think it's a massive paradigm shift for most people because they're like, there's no way, that's too good to be true. It's huge, which is huge. You've been talking a lot about automations. That mainly you said like a software guy that met. Is that more of what you're talking about, or do you guys use automations in like your personal trading?
No, so automation it's literally AI in the works, and we keep an eye on it. So it's not like 100% hands-free, like we set up an EA and just let it be. We actually keep an eye on it. And if we see that, for example, the drawdown starting to hit close to 5%, then we start looking at charts, analyzing, saying, okay, where can we find a reversal? And shall we place a trade that's going to help us get out quicker? Hardly ever happened to us. Like we've managed to keep the drawdown under 5%. The one time it did go up, it was in the very beginning. We used the exact same settings of the software developer, but because we had different types of accounts, it was a completely different, like literally you're looking at two different stories when you look at his account and our account. But we managed to configure and keep an eye on it. Like literally there were 3 nights where I didn't sleep because I wanted to make sure that nothing wrong was going to happen with it. Now I just it's so stress-free that like sometimes we don't even need to look at it. I just literally look at it every now and then during the day and make sure that it's in control, that we're keeping the drawdown low. So if we do see the drawdown starting to near 5%, then we start to take action, because I think with a lot of EAs, what happens is people like set them up on clients' accounts and they just let it run and assume that a 30% drawdown is fine. And then once they start getting to 50, that's when they start to panic. Yeah. We actually start to look at what's happening when we start getting close to 5% drawdown. We look at charts. We're both my partner and I were both traders. So I use smart money concepts, so I know I can look at charts and see like where can we have a potential reversal, where can we place a trade so that we can come out of this quicker. And it's like the system we have, the way it is, works phenomenal.
I love that. Looks like Nick had a question. So on the EA, when you make the correction, is the automation corrected as well? Does it learn from the process?
No, it doesn't learn from the process. Sorry.
I was just saying that's a good question.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna open the chat so you can see it. So we make the correction. No, the automation doesn't correct itself. What we do is, if I take an extra trade, it's because I want us to come out faster when it reverses. And then what I do is I have a script that I added myself where I can close all the trades by myself. And sometimes we don't wait for it to hit the take profit. We see there's a lot of trades, and we even took a trade at the very bottom so that we come out of the trades faster. I'll close all the trades. It's with literally a script. I just press a button and closes all the trades when I see that it's in profit. Like I don't wait for it to touch the take profit.
Yeah, that's really, really smart. Cool. So, I mean, outside of moving and kind of scaling this up to 10 million, I mean, like, what else do you guys like? What's the big goal? I know it's to eventually move back. Where did you say you were right now?
I'm in Malta.
Malta? Nice. So I know it's eventually to move back. Anything else that's just driving you guys to keep on pushing forward?
So it's mainly family. I do have a big goal at the center of like my heart. I don't expect people to kind of really crypto haven Malta. Yes. Not as much as what's it called? El Salvador.
El Salvador, Navis is another one. Yeah.
Yeah. So the big goal is we would love to have a family, so we could come back, and I would love to convince my parents to move to south of Spain with us. I'm not sure that will happen, but we're first moving to Dubai, and that's where we want to scale. That's a hub for trading crypto, and they're like expos. So that's like, okay, like this is a great place to connect. And I do have a goal where I do want to have like a rescue center for cats. I am a huge cat enthusiast. I have 3 and would love to have 50 more.
Yep.
So huge. Like I just love them too much. So I'd love to have a cat rescue center actually in Dubai because there's a need for one. And then actually have all the connections there already. So once I'm there, I can work on that on the side. Because with the thing with trading is, this is something else I really like to touch on. The thing with trading is you really have to move away from the employee mindset. And you learn that the less time you spend on charts, you'll actually make more money. So that's where I really struggled. And when I finally learned that I'm going to spend less time on charts, that's when things started to happen. So while I'm there, I won't just be trading. I'm actually going to have an office there with all of other traders. And we all have the same goals. So we're going to help each other, especially psychologically, emotionally, because that's where we all like need a bit of help. And I'll be doing some cat rescue on the side. And then, a year or two, I probably want to leave. Sorry?
You just need to skip Dubai and then just move over here, and you guys can just work from our office because we have like this entrepreneurial building and hub, and you could fit at least 500 cats in here.
Would you like that?
Well, so my wife and I, my wife is the same as you, but with dogs. So if she could have hundreds of dogs, she literally would. And they're gigantic dogs. They're not like Chihuahuas. They're like Great Danes that are 140 pounds. You know, between that and the cats, it'd be a little bit interesting. But I love that vision because I think we need more of that. Trading can be really lonely. And I think for whatever reason, a lot of loners or homebodies are really attracted to it because it's just kind of, you can wake up in the morning and just do your thing from your laptop or your desktop and be in isolation, etc., which is fine. But there is that other side of it. You know, you said, you know, the encouragement and like the kind of that iron sharpens iron and the mental fortitude that comes from working around other people. And I mean, that's why we got this office. It's like, man, we need to be surrounded by people that are on the same journey, that, you know, when they're having a bad day, we can be there. And when we're having a bad day, they can be there for us, and we can learn from each other and grow with each other. So I love part of the Forex where there's really no competition, right? So we can both do extremely well and be right next to each other, and I'm not taking anything from you and you're not taking anything from me, right? It's one of those games where it's such a big industry that unless you're like the biggest of the biggest whales, like we're not in competition. We can all support each other to literally get better on a daily basis, which is really what you were just talking about. Hans, appreciate it. So Nick wants to know, are they big cats or are they like domestic cats? Are we talking like calico cats or like we talking like lions?
And we're talking about domestic and strays. There are many over there. Big cats are in the future though, because my dream, but in the future, not now, like not in the coming years. I would love to move to Africa and do something on a bigger scale. Yes, so
absolutely. So we also do, like, we have a real estate mastermind that we've been doing for like a decade. Single family, multifamily, commercial, Dubai type properties, Airbnbs, the whole thing. But one of our mentors has, it's not a mountain lion, but it's like something like a mountain lion. I'm like, dude, and he lives in Florida. I'm like, I don't think you can like legally have that cat, buddy. But he has a lot of cats. Like you would be proud. You would be his best friend.
Absolutely. Definitely a cool guy then.
Yeah, just a couple other questions for you. And I know that our team is checking out the PAMM account as well. We're always looking for not only great people like yourself, which I've loved this conversation, but great people and great projects, people that we really feel that are in alignment with what we do, interested in getting started, or they're trying to figure out if trading is a good option for them, whether it is, well, joining a PAMM, like you said, is very passive. So I don't think I have to convince anybody on that side. But for somebody that's considering getting involved with Forex, what advice would you give them, or advice for if they know if it can be a fit for them? Does that make sense?
It does. I think, how would people know it's a fit for them? I think the first thing one needs to accept before they get into the Forex game is that they have to understand they're going to lose a lot before they can make big gains. Definitely, I would say being constant, how should I say, constantly be working on your mindset. And when I say that, like one of the things that really helped me was I hope it's okay for me to mention the
Yeah,
company. He's a very
sure.
popular guy, Vishen Lakiani. There's the Mind Valley app that's really helped. I was saying so one of the things I did that really helped me was like I got the Mind Valley app. Probably familiar with Vishen Lakiani. He's like probably the biggest app worldwide when it comes to mindset. But it's not like the basic mindset stuff. Like he does some really like deep, intense stuff that really helps you get deep into your unconscious so that you can reprogram. There are different like people on the app that like some of the things they're just a bit woo woo, but they really help. Like it's helped me clear some stuff and help me go back to see like where are my money issues coming from? How can I solve that? Like how can I make peace with it so that I can, because if you want to make like big money in Forex, like you want to reach like we have like big goals, right? It's like 6-figure
Yeah.
plus. My partner wants to make 6 figures in a day even. So, and that's not impossible. We see it happen. So we're like, why not? Why would it not work for us? But we know we need to work on the mindset stuff. That's where I would say people need to put a lot of effort. The skill is the easy part. The skill is really the easy part. You might think it's skill and you might be jumping from one strategy to the other, from one trading mentor to the other, but then you'll find it's actually you're having to deal with emotions and patterns that keep blocking you, and you have to find out what those are. So journaling will help, but I like to have a morning routine where I wake up really early at like 5 even, and I just like do my meditation, trading affirmations, journaling. Sometimes I'll just sit outside because it's summer right now and just look at the pool and enjoy the cats outside and just like, enjoy some silence. So it's these things that have helped me grow. And when I haven't focused on mindset and when I've been too comfortable, like staying too long in a country, that's really kept me stuck in my case. I'm not suggesting people should relocate. I know people have kids. If you have a kid on the way, congratulations. So that's obviously not possible for us. Like it's something we can do. So we want to like take advantage before, who knows, like a kid comes on the way, because we know that's not going to happen in the future. Like if we get kids.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like the getting up early part I can very, very much relate to because I have a kid. So it's like if I'm not up at like 4 or 5, I am not gonna get that quiet time that you're talking about before he wakes up. I completely relate to that. But yeah, I mean I would kind of echo what you were saying. I definitely agree that you gotta be okay losing. It doesn't mean that you have to lose a lot of money per se, because there's things that you can do to kind of avoid that with stop losses, etc. But you've got to be okay with losing multiple times in a day, losing on multiple trades. Sometimes you might even have a losing week followed by another losing week. That's obviously not the goal, but as you said, the skill is the easy part. So I definitely agree with that. And there's something like on the anxiety side. Some people are really, really anxious. Some people have a really hard time with stress. And again, I think that also plays back into the mindset thing where, guys, if you're stressed out because you're going to have a couple percent drawdown or even lose a couple percent, you might want to kind of consider that this might not be a great fit for you, at least not right now in the season that you're in. I think people that can stick with it find that they're going to be really, really, really happy. But just, you said lose a lot mindset, skill is the easy part, all of that. Like, guys, definitely keep that in consideration. Chiara, what's the best place for people to find you and kind of follow what you're doing? We'll put a link in the description.
So my
Is it the
sorry.
MyFX book one that you want us to use? The MyFX book /members digital brunette?
That is a third-party website. So
Yeah.
if it's okay for me to post, I can give my
Yeah.
Telegram group link. Okay, let me just.
Absolutely. And if you guys are interested in learning more about the PAM account or following the journey of Chiara and her partners and all of the cats from it's Malta over to Dubai, highly, highly, highly recommend it. Again, she's one of the good ones that we love her story and we love what she's doing. So definitely check them out, invest a little bit of time, make sure you guys are following the YouTube channel and get into the Telegram. Chiara, I greatly appreciate your time. Thank you for your willingness to jump on the show. It's been extremely helpful, and I know that a lot of people will get value out of it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed this.
We will be in touch soon. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
We'll see ya. Bye.